So, if you've never heard about Paramahansa Yogananda, maybe this is the first time you hear about this great teacher. His story is relevant for our generation, for any generation, truly, because his story is of a story of a person who had received divine assignment and who had the vision and the courage and incredible trust to follow that divine assignment. To me, divine success opens up when we say yes to our divine assignment or our life mission or our divine destiny, right? Where we really seek that full alignment with what does our soul want to express in this incarnation. So Paramahansa Yogananda, he is right here, right here. He was a monk and a yogi. And 100 years ago, he had a school for spiritual growth and education in India. And he saw himself being in India and growing that school and serving his country and being there. And his guru, his master, came into his vision and revealed his destiny, right? Revealed his divine destiny. Divine destiny is one of my favorite conversations because I truly believe every single one of us has a divine destiny. Not every single one of us answer that divine destiny and follows it because it requires so much surrender and trusting the soul to lead the way. So instead of following our divine destiny, we often fight it or pretend that we didn't hear it, and we live on default by following our unconscious fate. Every year looks kind of the same amount of dissatisfaction, lack of joy, creative stuckness. That's our unconscious fate. But if we seek alignment, true soul alignment, we will hear the knock of divine destiny on the door of our heart. And that divine destiny says, there is something bigger for you. Your divine assignment is waiting for you. So Paramahansa Yogananda received the divine assignment in meditation, in the vision. His teacher was showing him where his true destiny is meant to take him. And it's not to remain in his country, India, where he was already well recognized, well received. His ideas were understood, right? India is the mother of spirituality, where the connection to the divine and the search for mystery, it's such a part of the culture and it's so cultivated. So here Paramahansa Yogananda receives the assignment that at first he had a really hard time accepting, because his assignment was to go to the United States and to bring the message of yoga and self-realization to the United States right at the end of the World War I. And when you read in his book, Autobiography of a Yogi, which is a portal of activation and transformation, I recommend everyone to read that book, and not only once. But when you read in that book, when he got his assignment, revelation of the vision, what happened next is a very curious teaching for all of us. He did not have the resources to actually follow that vision. He didn't have the money for the ticket to US. He didn't even have the passport, right? And his human self began to question the vision that was given to him in meditation and revelation. And his human self was asking, well, how am I going to go there? I don't have the passport. I don't have the money. The planes were not available at that time. So you could only take a 1 month boat from India to New York, right? And then you read through the book, divine precision of support that was being shown to him in response to the steps he was willing to make. The divine support did not show up if he didn't take the steps forward. But when he was willing to walk to the train station to buy the ticket to go to catch the boat, at the train station, the support came and he was actually given a free ticket as a spiritual ambassador from India to US. So a very powerful teaching. We receive our divine appointment, divine assignment, divine mission, and our human self can go immediately into, I am not worthy, I don't have what it takes, there is no resources available, so what's the point even moving forward? To create our dream life is to answer the call of our divine destiny and to trust the divine precision of the support that shows up in a reflection to the steps we're willing to take. If we're not willing to take the steps, we're not ever going to discover the divine design of the invisible network of support that was already prepared for us. So out of many stories I can tell you about Paramahansa Yogananda, I love his books and his writings. One of my favorite books is Divine Romance, where he was such a prolific writer. First, about 10 years of his service in this country, in the United States, he was traveling nonstop, giving free lectures, right? Teaching everywhere he could find a space to teach. So he was traveling and really doing a lot of work on his feet, traveling, giving talks. And then there was a shift when he became writing more and more and more and more. So when you read his works, he writes about how to realize the divine in your daily life. And he gives very practical guidance of how to unlock these spiritual support for a satisfying success in our life. And I brought 4 principles that I wanted to share with you that always supports me so deeply. And the first principle that he teaches in the book Divine Romance: make the best of your circumstances. He always counsels, never complain about circumstances that you have, but make the best of the circumstances that you find yourself in. Because the circumstances that you're in are the right circumstances to ignite the creative potential that is asleep inside of you. To awaken that courage, to awaken that boldness, to awaken that desire to be of service. So make the best of the circumstance, counsels Paramahansa Yogananda. Don't waste time. Another book, he says, rise above the age that you were born. Do something that nobody else has ever imagined. And in all of his writing, he constantly talks that success without connection to the divine is meaningless. That ultimate success in life is realization of our connection with the divine. When we have active, fulfilling spiritual life, where our heart is beating in union with the divine, in union with the universe, if you want to call that, union with Divine Mother, we're already successful. We're already reached the highest thing that is possible to experience in the human life, is this beating connection with the divine. That should be our ultimate aim, counsels Paramahansa Yogananda. But once you made that contact with the divine, you get to become on fire with unleashing your creative potential. And you read in Divine Romance, Paramahansa Yogananda says, don't be lazy. Don't be mentally inert. Squeeze the time of your day. Seize all the opportunities. The divine gave you the intellect and creative capacities. Expand them. And do everything not to impress others. Do everything because of the joy of unlocking your creative potential. Divine success is our ability to find the joy of creative expression and find the joy of loving the journey that will take us to finding that creative expression. So the principle of how to create the dream life and divine success, Paramahansa Yogananda tells us, seek divine guidance. Seek divine guidance every day. Don't start any of your business, professional activities without asking divine guidance. And divine guidance can be, sitting down and quieting the mind and saying, what wants to emerge through my life? What wants to emerge through my business, through my creativity? What wants to emerge? What is already here? When you see that the divine is your ultimate business mentor, ultimate business advisor, and when you make that your priority, seeking divine first, you begin to hear the instructions. You begin to discern the intuitive nudges. Go here, pick up this book, listen to this live stream. By you being here on this live stream, it's a direct reflection that your soul is ready to hear this message. That really what will determine your ultimate growth next year 2025, year of transformation. There is no transformation without divine guidance. There is no lasting change without the divine inspiring that change. So you being here in this live stream, either live or watching in the replay, is a sign that you are ready for that next level of transformation, next level of creative liberation. And when you seek divine guidance, you're going to receive instructions, whether it's through prayer or meditation or chanting or being in nature, listening to the sounds of the birds, whether it's through journaling, meditation, automated writing, but seek the divine with all your heart, not as a hobby, not as something that you do once a year on a retreat, but as a hunger. When you seek the divine with the hunger of your soul, the divine rushes in. And it wants to co-create with you. It wants to express itself through you as you. The third principle, hi everyone. Yes, hey Midge, good to feel you, good to hear you. Yes. So the third principle of Paramahansa Yogananda, the great yogi who decided to also become a great leader. He was a monk. He didn't have money training, wealth training, organization leadership training. Imagine a monk who comes to the United States with nothing in his pockets. He was just given a ticket to get on a boat and travel for 1 month to reach New York City. He relies on the divine completely. He takes one step at a time, right? Immediately after he lands to New York City, he seeks any venue that will welcome him to give a free lecture. His entire career as the first guru, international guru, began with him offering his gifts for free as a free lecture. Right? Giving was at the center of everything he was doing. And then finding the support every step of the way. And one of my favorite why Yogananda is so inspiring to me, because when his ministry, his organization began to rapidly expand, not right away, first 3 years, no traction, barely making any progress. The moment he decides to leave East Coast and travel to California, where the consciousness were more ripe, the collective were more available for spiritual teachings from India, his speeches and lectures became more filled with a lot more people. His organization grew, and he found himself facing a new kind of responsibility of managing organization. And at that point, he could have run and he would have said, you know what, I am a monk. I'm not going to do this organization stuff. But he said, this is a part of my assignment. What do I get to learn to lead an organization, to manage organization, to master budgeting and financing? And oh my goodness, there's taxes to pay in California. And there is this and there's that. And why Paramahansa Yogananda, an ultimate role model for me? He was willing to develop the skill set that was utterly unnatural for him. He was willing to embrace all these new skills that were required for him to develop in order to realize his divine assignment, because it was part of his divine destiny. And the way he would find solution to any of his organization challenges. And when you lead organization during World War II, you will be met with enormous challenges, right? You will be met with a lot of ups and downs and financial challenges. He would go into meditation and he would seek divine guidance, and an answer would come. And invisible hands of support would always come. So seek the divine guidance, Yogananda says. And then one of my, he says, never accept failure. In another book on divine success, he talks about failure is the best time to plant new seeds of success. Success without failure is impossible. Failure are the steps towards the success, because failure gives us an incredible opportunity to get feedback. So every setback is a great gift to strengthen our soul, to help us become better, more devoted, more patient. But so many times we can build such story what failure means that we never try to do anything, or we allow ourselves to get overwhelmed so easy that we just go back to that unconscious fate, back to that comfort zone, back to the old way of being, instead of saying, you know what, I temporarily experience overwhelm. It's not going to last forever. I know it's a passing feeling. Or I temporarily experience setback. Let me bow down to this experience. Let me see the gold of it. It came to strengthen my soul. It came to strengthen my soul. This year, I have met some serious setbacks that in the moment felt so intense. So intense. But I never allowed myself to even consider giving up. I trained my mind to embrace the setback as a part of my soul curriculum. And I trained my mind to trust that that setback over time would be revealed to me as a great gift of grace. And it's exactly what happened. So a setback is a crucial experience to help us mature, to help us become more humble, to help us become more receptive. And the sooner we can redefine why a setback comes to us, or a failure, or an experience that feels like a giant disappointment, the things, didn't go as we thought they would, the more playfulness we can bring to the whole journey. The more we can meet our experiences with lightness and with joy. Make the best of all circumstances, says Yogananda. Every circumstance has an opportunity. Every circumstance has an opportunity to teach us something great. So another principle that Paramahansa Yogananda teaches is this. It's a headline in one of the chapters. You create your own helplessness or strength. Let's contemplate this together. You create your own helplessness or strength. Isn't that true? We create our own helplessness or strength. And the way we create it is by what attitude we choose in. Sometimes we find ourselves in circumstances that are truly humbling. And if we see that as a burden or as a curse or is something that where we shouldn't be there, we're going to drop to that mindset of helplessness. Versus look at the circumstance and say, you know what? It was given to me to strengthen me. How can this experience help me become the strongest version of myself? And if everything in your life is here to guide you on the path of your divine destiny, then every experience is carefully chosen by your divine self to be offered to you. Maybe part of the reasons why I love Paramahansa Yogananda is because he's an immigrant like me. He came from India, I came from Russia. And I remember when I came to this country, third time was an opportunity to work here. The only job that was available was a housekeeping job. And I was so grateful for the opportunity that somebody gave me something to do, that I could earn my way, that I didn't have to beg for food and shelter. I could clean. And at the end of the day, I had a place to stay and be safe. And I could earn my way through. But I remember after a month of being a housekeeper, I've realized if I stay there after they take out the taxes and I am receiving minimum wage, I'm receiving just very, very little. And I decided to use my intellect and my resourcefulness and go out on the streets and see if there's better opportunities available. And I knocked on the streets, I knocked on the businesses, I knocked on the pizza shop, I knocked on the gift shop and saying, hey, I'm a student from Eastern Europe. I'm here for the summer. Do you need somebody who can help your business grow? I'm available. And I was hired. And I was hired at the gift shop and at the pizza shop. And I had 2 jobs. And I was a cashier, right? At the gift shop working in Alaska, where people come on the big cruise ships, and all day long I was doing the same thing at the register, ringing people in, packaging their thing and wishing them well. But I was so grateful for the opportunity that every customer who came to my register was like the most beautiful guest that walked into my life. And I would greet them with a giant smile and talk to them and be like, you picked that amazing ornament. That's so great. That apron with the salmon fish from Alaska, who is that gift for? And I would engage with every customer, not because it was expected from me, but simply because I treasured that somebody gave me an opportunity to stand behind the register and to do my work well. But here's what happened next. This entire time, the first few weeks I was working at that gift store, selling $3 ornaments, I was being watched. But not by my boss, who was the owner of the gift shop, by his business partner, who was also from India. He was watching me. And then at the end of that month, he asked me to come to talk to him. And when your boss is asking you to talk to you, you think, oh my God, am I in trouble? What happened? What did I do wrong? But he is like, hi, I'm a business partner of your boss. And no, you're not in trouble. I've been watching you for the last few weeks. And I see how passionately you sell those Christmas ornaments and other items in this gift store. And I just wanted to ask you if you would be interested to work for me next summer and to sell diamonds. And your boss is my business partner, so we all win. And that was a crucial lesson in my life that I feel inspired to share with you, because when we accept and make the best of our circumstances, we bring our best attitude. Somebody is watching. And it's somebody who will be the person who will open the door of opportunity for you, who will make an introduction, who will refer you to your next client, who will say, you know what? I want you to meet this person and that person. But we are always being watched. So the magic of our attitude is the key to creating the success that is inspiring not only to yourself but to others. When we follow the path of our divine destiny, we're also being watched, not by the employer, but by our higher self and the team of spiritual masters who are guiding our souls. And they're watching us of what do we bring to each moment? How do we meet our setbacks? How do we discipline our mind? How do we cultivate our devotion? We're always being watched. We're being watched because the higher self that is stationed anywhere between fifth dimension and ninth dimensional, it's a non-physical, larger, eternal part of who you are, is looking to incarnate fully into your physical self, is looking to express its genius through you. And it's always a partnership. Your personal human self, this rascal, this human self, and your divine self. And your divine self is observing you, is giving you these inspiring thoughts and inspiring ideas, is asking you to study more, to develop yourself more, or asking you to share what you study more, right? For so many of us, it's such a balance between between really being a student, a devoted student, and also knowing that we also will be called to being a teacher in our own unique way. And the most powerful way to teach, as you know, is through embodiment, where you simply live your message. Your life becomes your message. Mitch says, number one fan. Hey, Mitch, good. Mitch is one of the most devoted students I've ever met. You always study. You have incredible, incredible library within you, right? So never accept failure as a final thing in your life. Actually see that the failure is the most fertile time to plant the seeds of success. You know, failure is a beautiful opportunity to deepen our humility. So one of my other favorite stories of Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda, is when he was traveling on the boat. 1 month, just imagine 1 month you travel from India to New York. And he's being himself. He's wearing his orange monk robes. He's wearing his turban. So he stands out like a white pigeon. He's not trying to hide who he is. He's being himself. And that gives him an opportunity to receive an invitation. A very powerful teaching right here, right? He's been invited, you know, he shows up at the cruise cafe in his orange robes, long hair, turban on his head, and people become curious. Who is this strange man? Who is this Indian man? And they start talking to him, and he starts telling them, yes, I am bringing the science of God realization to the West. And they said, well, we're here on the boat for 1 month. Could you please teach us something? And the invitation comes to him. Can you please teach us how to connect to the divine? And of course, Paramahansa Yogananda says, yes, of course, he represents the entire lineage of all these masters. This is what happened next. So he begins to prepare. He's trying to organize his thoughts into a speech that would connect to this new audience that he's never talked to American Western audience before. He comes from a radically different culture. And he's doing his best to organize a speech that would relate to them, that would inspire to them. And he spends hours trying to organize it, and nothing really flows. And then he just cries to the divine for help, and he says, Great Spirit, you gave me this opportunity. I surrender to you. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to let you speak through me. So he shows up, and many people have gathered in auditorium, eager to have him speak. He walks to the podium in his orange robe, turban on his head, looks into the eyes of the people, and nothing comes out. He's unable to speak. Like somebody seized his throat. He's unable to speak. So a minute goes by, a 2 minute goes by, the awkwardness of energy in the room is building. Because here he is standing in front of the people, prepared to inspire them to connect with the divine, and nothing comes out. 10 minutes. He had to endure that uncomfortable place. And at this point, he could have walked away. He could have just said, you know what, this is it. I'm going back to India. This was a crazy idea. This is ultimate failure. He stands there in ultimate surrender to the moment. And after 10 minutes of awkward silence, suddenly he begins to speak in a very thick Indian accent. He begins to speak, and he begins to allow this channeled wisdom to flow through him. And he speaks and he channels and gives an incredible lecture that at the end people got up and clapped for him and gave him a standing ovation. This is one of my favorite stories from Autobiography of a Yogi, because here's the divine teacher. Some people call him an avatar. But this is the divine teacher who embodies a human vessel, a human body, a human personality, who has doubt, who has fears, who has concern whether he is good enough, who has an accent, who at times loses his ability to speak for 10 minutes. And this could be a story of a giant failure, or a story of an incredible surrender, an incredible trust in the divine, incredible trust that what is happening is meant to happen. And that story goes into his book and inspires somebody like me 100 years later. So what if every setback in our life, every failure is a future story that you will tell? That how you could have turned around, you could have said, you know what? Everybody else is meant to reach their divine destiny, but it's not for me. And you choose to tell a different story. You choose to tell a different story. And you choose to tell that story as the power of the divine that has carried you through many awkward moments, through the moments where you forgot your name, you forgot what you wanted to say, right? The moment where you wanted to run from your divine assignment. But in order to create the life that you truly love, you get to cultivate this kind of attitude, that absolutely every experience is valuable on this path. And you know, my friends, what I'm realizing, the point of human incarnation. What is the point of human incarnation? There can be many answers to that through many different philosophies, through many different spiritual traditions. I would like to share with you my understanding of this. The point of human experience is an experience. We as spirits yearn to have an experience, and a lot of it. Very diverse experience. An experience that has so much color and so much range in it. So every experience is a success because it helps you grow in your wisdom. This is what I truly believe. So year 2025 is a year of great transformation. How can we receive and align to that transformation? By seeking the divine guidance, by making the best of our circumstances, by realizing that we create our own helplessness or our own strength. An ultimate realization that material success becomes empty without the divine. So when we seek the divine, when we seek wisdom, right, if you don't connect, even if somebody who is listening doesn't even connect to the word divine, replace it with wisdom, right? When we seek true wisdom, true self-illumination, our life becomes filled with meaning. And that meaning gives us strength. I was reading some social reports what drives the biggest dissatisfaction in the world. And you know what I discovered? It's the lack of meaning. So when we're not connected, when we don't feel there is any meaning behind human life, behind the life on this planet, we are not connected to our true strength. And it's up to us to find and define that meaning. I have found that when we're connected to the divine, when we seek that wisdom, the higher aspiration, we are naturally supplied with the strength of the soul to continue on the path. I deeply believe that divine success, that dream success what so many of us desire, is a reflection of how much you enjoy your life, how much you learn to accept and celebrate and appreciate your life. Because without that, no material achievements will bring any joy. When you start focusing on enjoyment, like I really love learning. And I'm a big believer that when we learn, we give ourselves empowerment. So next year, the year of the snake, the year of the wisdom, is all about give yourself more knowledge and then apply it and absorb it so you see real changes in your life. And then give yourself new opportunities for service. Right? To be of service, to rise in the leadership, to offer your gifts to the world, to follow your divine assignment, no matter where it leads you. Trusting that will only lead you to your divine destiny. Yes, yes, yes. So Paramahansa Yogananda left a huge legacy, and he is my inspiration behind writing. Whenever I have my writer block, which is simply a fear of expression, I think about Paramahansa Yogananda and so much writing that he has left behind, so much courage, so much dedication. And it's easy to put him on the pedestal and say, of course he could do it because he was ultimate spiritual master. But I love reading biographies. I love reading his books because in his book he writes how many times he was tested by life, how many times he had to endure extreme challenges. Like one of the challenges he had to face was a lawsuit, not just one, but twice. And both wrongly accused. Just imagine spiritual master who came to United States to bring illumination to this country was wrongly accused and being sued for something that he never committed. He was willing to endure that. He was willing to go to meditation and seek divine guidance, knowing that if that experience comes to him, it must be useful. There must be a reason how it's going to serve the divine plan in a bigger picture. Right? So I love the biographies for that reason, because when we learn about an inspiring leader or luminary, it's really important to learn about their life. What was their journey like? What did it took for them to create this incredible legacy? We live in incredible times. We live swimming in opportunities that Paramahansa Yogananda only could dream of. We have global connectivity. We have access to any information we need. We have technology that can help us. I'm a big fan of ChatGPT and AI and using futuristic technologies to support us. We have so much. But at the same time, there has never been more self-doubt in people, more concern about their lives, more and more loss of meaning. So seeking the divine to guide us to fulfill our potential is the number one key to divine success. I continue to surrender my life, my business, my vision on the altar of devotion. And I continue to say this prayer, may divine plan be expressed through my life. May I truly realize my capacity when I allow Great Spirit to move through me. It's really beautiful. And then another part to it, this sense of humility. Like, what does the divine asks me to learn that I may have resistance to? I may have initial, I don't know if it's for me. But if it's a part of my assignment that's going to help me fulfill my divine destiny, let me roll up my sleeves. Let me socialize less. Let me Netflix less. Let me study more. Let me spread my energy less. Let me go into this deep devotion to become the most devoted student. Let me lead bolder. Let me question every story that tells me I am helpless, I'm not good enough, it's not going to happen for me. Let me just question every story as an old broken record and say, I am ready as I am good enough as I am. And my main job is to attune my vibration. Every single day, I am attuning my instrument. I am attuning my vibration. I am contacting the divine in a way that works for me. I am asking for precise guidance. I make the best of my circumstances. And I never accept failure. I only see the gift of that because it helps me to become stronger. And my main compass is how joyful I feel. My main compass is, do I love the journey? Do I remember that human life is here for experience? Do I celebrate my uniqueness, my unique set of circumstances? Do I celebrate my age? Do I celebrate my body? Do I celebrate my being? Do I celebrate who I am? Do I celebrate the season of life that I'm in? Because if I do, I am tapped into that natural joy, natural inner strength. Do I see my gifts? I also would like to share with you that our divine destiny unlocks when we begin to realize and see our divine gifts. And it's something that is very challenging to see on our own. We are like a fish in the water. We're swimming in our own genius. It's hard to see your own genius. So the universe and your higher self and its benevolence will keep sending you messengers who will say, you know what? You have a natural healing energy. You are a healer. And you may say, oh, no, me, no. Or the universe will say, you know what? You are a natural speaker. Come speak to us. And you'll be like, no. I need to finish the speaking course. I need to do this. I'm not ready yet. When somebody gives you a gift of acknowledging your unique talents, take it deeply. Cherish that. Believe in what you hear. Because the universe is offering you an opportunity to see your own genius. I personally, the gift that took me the longest to embrace is the gift of healing. Yet the universe literally sent me 3 people who told me, I have experienced real soul healing being in your energy. Maybe you need to become a healer. Maybe this is part of what you're going to do. This was 16 years ago. And I said, oh no, me? No, right? So a lot of times we don't believe in what we hear right away. But the universe in its benevolence will give us another opportunity. And eventually there gets to be a moment where you say, I have heard enough encouragement Now I just gotta keep on walking. I gotta make my steps. So I hope this live stream brought you some inspiration on this day to remember that you are a divine co-creator with your divine higher self that exists in 5D between 9D, your eternal wise soul, and your human self. And embracing your circumstances, never looking down on your circumstances, knowing that your circumstances are exactly what is needed for you right now. And at the same time, never allowing your circumstances to define what you're willing to dream for yourself. Because imagination is the bridge to your dream life. Everything in our life is a mirror of our current level of imagination. I love you too, Steve Hardison. Thank you for your support. You're such an inspiration for so many. It's always a joy to see you pop into my live streams, even if it's just a few minutes. Truly, this is what a great yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda, I read his books. I continue to read his book. This is one of my favorite, The Divine Romance, a very practical guidance on how to unlock the power of our mind, how not to believe in any limitations, and how to unfold our divine potential. So thank you so much for joining me. I wish you all a beautiful week. And until we meet again, may you choose every day your divine destiny. May you recognize the tentacles of unconscious fate that wants to take you back to your comfort zone, back to being asleep and helpless or feeling limited. And you untangle yourself and you say, I choose to align to my higher destiny. Thank you for your time and many blessings on your path.